Content warning. Episodes of Grey Matter may contain themes and depictions of extreme mental illness, traumatic bodily harm, and death. If you aren't in the right headspace to engage with those depictions right now, maybe this episode should wait for another time. Otherwise, proceed with caution.
Hey, welcome back to Grey Matter. Sorry if I'm a little cranky today. My neighbors just had a baby and it's waking me up at all hours of the night. But it got me thinking while I stare at the ceiling and find myself rooting for a school bus crash. Have you ever really thought about your neighbors? What about that one coworker no one talks to, or your mailman? They're people, right? You know that in the clinical sense, of course, but have you ever really stopped to think about it? Do you really feel like they're just like you? All those philosophical zombies you've never considered, going about their daily lives just to put food on the table? And if you had to choose between you going hungry or them going hungry, which would you pick? And why? Think about it. Really think. And keep it in mind. Everyone knows what everyone else is thinking, but no one will ever say it out loud. Because the world can't keep spinning without the illusion. Anyway, here's a tape. It's called Stairwell One, and it's about two guys stuck in one bad situation. And what they're willing to do to survive it. Enjoy. Oh, and take the stairs. It's good for you.
Stairwell One, written and directed by Jonathan Inbody. I was late. I woke up late, left the house late, arrived late on campus. By the time I found a parking spot on the far side of the philosophy building, my class had already started. At least Professor Brecht didn't take attendance. I stepped into the first floor stairwell, quickly checking my backpack for a pen as I started up the stairs.
Wait, hold that door. What is wrong with you? Why did you do that? You could have held it. Why'd you just let it close?
What? What do you mean? It's just a door.
Oh, God. I was this fucking close.
What? Are you stuck in here?
Yeah, and now you are too, dipshit.
Well, if it's just the door, I can... The knob turns, but it won't... Does this not open from the inside?
Not lately.
Why don't you just go up to the next floor?
Go for it.
I jogged up the first flight of stairs, then turned and started up the next one. As I reached the next floor up, the guy I had just seen was there again, waiting for me next to a closed door with a sour look on his face. How did you...
Put it together, Einstein. These stairs don't go anywhere.
What do you mean they don't? They have to go somewhere.
Apparently not.
I jogged up another floor. He was there again when I arrived, shaking his head in quiet annoyance. How many floors does this building have?
3.
But we're not at the top.
And we never will be.
That's impossible.
Oh, good. Tell the stairs.
Wait, I know you, right? Ezra? You're in my ancient philosophy class.
That's right. You're Jacob?
Yeah, you haven't been to class for like 3 weeks. Everybody thinks you dropped out.
Is that how long it's been? 3 weeks?
Yeah?
Oh, God. I'm never getting out of here.
What? You've been stuck in here for 3 weeks?
Is there something wrong with you? Short-term memory loss or something? Didn't we just go over this?
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense. How can all of the doors be stuck?
Because it's not all of the doors, it's one door, the same door, over and over. The basement is always below us, and the second floor is always above us, no matter what. It's like a loop or something, like a glitch or some MC Escher nightmare thing. We're stuck.
But things like that don't just happen.
How do you know? Do you know how many people just up and disappear every goddamn day? Maybe this is where they go. They get stuck in an infinite hallway or something, or trapped in an elevator that doesn't go anywhere.
Things like this don't just happen, though, right? Something made this happen.
Hey, that's fun. You're starting the first stairwell religion.
I'm serious.
So am I.
So what have you been doing in here? Just sitting around, or...
Nah, it gets boring after a while. I mean, everything does, but sitting especially.
So what, then? Walking up and down the same flight of stairs over and over?
Have you got a better idea?
I don't know. Try to get out?
I've been trying. Got pretty close, too, up until some dumb asshole let the door close. And yes, I mean you.
How was I supposed to know?
Because when someone is running towards you, yelling, "Hold that door," guess what the polite thing to do is?
Hey, I don't need the sarcasm. We're stuck here together. We might as well get along.
Yeah, I'm really blowing this whole situation out of proportion, huh?
We can just wait. I came, somebody else will come.
Sure, in 3 weeks, but there's only 2 until the end of the semester. Then it'll be a month before anyone's on campus again. You want to take that chance?
But we'll starve. Why haven't you starved?
Hey, point to you for noticing. Funny thing about that. I've been in here almost a month, and yet my hair hasn't grown. Neither have my fingernails. I don't piss, I don't shit, but I still get hungry. I still get thirsty. I still get so tired. Sometimes I sleep, but the exhaustion always comes back. Now here's the part that fucks with me, and this shit's gonna wrinkle your brain. Why one and not the other? If nothing I eat or drink affects my physical body in even the smallest way, why do I still get hungry?
Maybe because you know you're supposed to?
That's not bad, actually. I've been thinking it's something about the way this place works, this cozy little pocket in our reality. Maybe it's like a black hole, energy can go in, but it never comes out. Know what I mean?
Kind of.
But if your something made this happen theory ends up being the thing, then it's not so much a metaphysical glitch as it is Prometheus.
What do you mean?
I'll be taking that point back, Jacob. You haven't been reading our assigned chapters for class.
What's with you and the points?
Oh, it's a thing I used to do in debate club in high school. Whenever someone makes a good argument or disproves one, points. So we were 0-1 in your favor, now we're 0-0. I was not a popular child.
You were saying, though, about Prometheus?
Right. I'll run you through the quick and dirty version. Prometheus stole the knowledge of fire from the gods. Zeus got pissy, banished him to eternal torture. Every morning, an eagle eats Prometheus's guts, and they grow back every night.
So you think...
It's your theory, Jacob. I'm just putting it through its paces.
See, I don't think it's Prometheus exactly. It's more like Sisyphus, rolling a boulder up a hill forever, but never reaching the top.
Well, you won that point back. That said, unless you're about to tell me that you believe in Zeus, I think we're back to where we started.
Maybe not. What if it's a test to get reactions from, I don't know, aliens or something?
Why not a government conspiracy? Those are always fun.
Wait a minute. If you've been stuck in here for 3 weeks, what have you been eating?
Do you have any food in your bag?
No, just books, headphones, phone charger.
Shit.
So what have you been eating?
I can show you, but it's going to be unpleasant.
Well, I didn't eat breakfast, so...
Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you. Come on, we're going upstairs.
I thought you said there was no upstairs.
There isn't.
Ezra and I started up the stairs, slowly at first, then steadily speeding up. Soon we were running, bounding up identical flights past identical doors. As we finished our 9th loop, Ezra put a hand on my shoulder and stopped. He took a quiet step up, then another, creeping up the same set of stairs with an almost animalistic calm. I followed closely behind him, holding myself back from asking any of the questions bouncing around inside my mind. We rounded the corner of the stairwell and stepped up onto the next flight, and as we slowly crept up, I began to hear voices.
So what have you been eating?
I can show you, but it's going to be unpleasant.
Well, I didn't eat breakfast, so...
Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you.
As we approached the top of the staircase, I could see 2 men standing next to the door. They were facing away from us, but even from the back, I knew. It was us.
Come on, we're going upstairs.
I thought you said there was no upstairs.
There isn't.
They turned to start up the staircase, and Ezra pounced, springing off of the stairs beside me and tackling his doppelganger to the floor. He grabbed the other Ezra's head with both hands, then violently slammed it down onto the concrete floor. The back of the other Ezra's head cracked like an egg, sending spurts of blood and shattered bits of skull splattering across the bottom stair. The other me turned back to look at his companion, and his face went white. He looked at Ezra, my Ezra, then down at his Ezra. His was flailing, gurgling, and drowning in his own blood as my Ezra wrapped his hands around his neck to hold him still.
Better go get yours, Jacob. Looks like he's gonna run.
I looked up at myself, or at my other self. He stared back at me in frozen horror and confusion, unable to form the words to even ask what was happening. Then he turned and bolted, bounding up the stairs 2 at a time like a terrified rabbit.
Well, you gonna go after him? That's all right, he doesn't have anywhere to go.
What the fuck is wrong with you? How is this even...
Just relax, man. I'll run you through it. I know it's a lot, but you just have to trust me here.
Trust? How the fuck am I supposed to do that? You just killed yourself.
No, I killed this guy. He's not me, or I wouldn't be here. You get me?
No.
Okay, so I've been here a while, you know that. But what you don't know is that 3 weeks in here doesn't feel like 3 weeks. Time is relative, right? So for me, for me, it's been years.
What?
Years, Jacob. I kept count once. Scratched tallies into the wall every day for, 900 some days. And I was so hungry. I didn't have any food, any water, any companionship. So one day, I just kind of lost my damn mind. I just ran up and up like a fucking maniac, and what did I find? A glitch. A glitch within the glitch. Every 10 floors, the stairwell resets. There was another me up there, one for every 10 floors I traveled up, and he'd been there just as long as I had, suffered the same way I did. At first, we were so desperate for human contact that all we did was cry. Then, when we ran out of tears, we talked. But we didn't have anything to discuss, Jacob, because we were just the same. We thought the same thoughts, felt the same feelings, needed the same things. And when we went to sleep, out of boredom more than need, the last thought I had before drifting off was this. What if I killed him, ate his flesh, drank his blood? So I opened my eyes, and he was standing over me. That bastard was thinking the same thing. So we fought. I killed him. And then, when his body was sitting there limp on the stairs, I made up my mind about what it was I was going to do. I was going to eat him, and all the others like him. Whenever my stomach growled, I'd stalk up the stairs like the boogeyman and kill another one. There's no guilt to it, Jacob, because I know they'd do it too.
That's insane.
Then take me to jail. It'll be a nice change of scenery.
How are you so calm about this?
There's not a horror on Earth that can withstand routine. It's just like Prometheus. Do you think he ever got bored just sitting around in Tartarus getting picked apart by a bird day in and day out? I'll bet he did. Probably got used to how it felt, too. I'll bet it came in waves. First horror, then pain, then disgust, then boredom, and then back around to horror to start the cycle all over again. That's how I feel, Jacob. You caught me somewhere in transit. Except when I'm the one coming up the stairs, I don't have to be Prometheus. I get to be the bird.
Jesus Christ. Ezra reached down to the body underneath him and stuck his thumbs into its eyes, puncturing and popping them as he scratched at the sides of the sockets. One of his fingernails caught under the skin and he pulled a long strip of flesh off of his doppelganger's face, then brought it up to his mouth and flashed me a disarming smile.
I like to do the face first. It's less weird that way. It's really no different than life on the outside, Jacob. Just more direct. Every mouthful you eat out there is one someone else can't. You get a promotion at work, there are 5 other guys that don't. It's the way of the world, buddy. For once, you must try to shirk the facts. Mankind's kept alive by bestial acts.
What the... Is that from something?
Yes, it is. Come on, dig in, man. There's enough for me to go around.
What about the other me?
Who cares?
I do.
First full stomachs, Jacob. Then ethics.
Maybe that's the test.
What do you mean?
Maybe if someone did this to us, or is doing it to us, then maybe that's the test. They want to see if we can resist killing each other, eating each other, even if that other is us.
That's not bad.
Do I get a point?
Yeah, but you lost one when you let the other you get away.
You know, I'm beginning to think these points are arbitrary. But I'm serious. This is wrong, what you're doing. What all of you are doing. You can't be the only one, right? It's a cannibals all the way up.
And turtles all the way down. I wonder if any of me are eating any of you.
That's fucked, Ezra.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's just food for thought.
You wouldn't do that, would you?
What, eat you? I'd get lonely.
You've been lonely before.
Hey, don't talk me into it. You'd know if I was gonna.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not one of your copies, Ezra. I can't read your mind. You know, I think I figured it out. Not all of it, but what you're doing to yourself, yourselves. It's not Prometheus and Zeus. It's the prisoner's dilemma.
Go on.
Oh, I finally found something you're not the expert on?
Don't be a dick, just explain.
The prisoner's dilemma. It's a thought experiment. 2 criminals get caught by the cops. They're both sitting in different interrogation rooms. The cops offer them each a deal. If they give up their partner, they get to go free while their partner goes to jail. But if neither of them talk, they both get jail time. But it's less jail time than they'd get if their partner sold them out. What do?
They don't talk. They each serve a little time instead of one of them serving all of it.
Well, that's what they should do. But they don't know if the other one's trustworthy. And because they don't know, maybe one rats out the other and walks out a free man. Maybe they both betray each other. Even though the best option is to suffer a little together, someone ends up suffering a lot.
What if they both betray each other? Who goes to jail?
You're missing the point, Ezra. You kill your copies because you think they're going to kill you, and they're going to kill you because you're going to kill them. It's circular reasoning. It's a one-man cycle of abuse because you can't trust yourself.
That's interesting. But what if there's no cops? Then it's not a test. It's hardly even a dilemma. It's nature. Dog eat dog. The food chain.
It doesn't change the dominant strategy, sure. Betray the other before he does the same. But that doesn't mean it's the best outcome. What if all of you could work together?
Then the stairwell would get crowded.
What's wrong with that?
Sometimes I like to be alone.
There have been others, haven't there? People like me. What happened to them?
Don't trouble yourself, Jacob.
I want to know. I have the right. How do they taste?
Self-righteous.
Ezra, don't. Stay back!
What are you going to do? Where are you going to run? It all leads back here, Jacob.
I turned and sprinted up the stairs, his laugh echoing up the walls as I ascended. He was there on the next floor up, still laughing as I passed him again. The third time around, he was almost doubled over. As I rounded the stairwell the fourth time, his laughter suddenly stopped. I reached the same landing with the same door where my backpack was waiting for me on the ground next to the dead, mostly faceless Ezra. But the other Ezra, my Ezra, wasn't there. Ezra? Are you up here? Someone stepped out onto the landing at the top of the next flight of stairs. I looked up and saw my own terrified face staring back. Are you gonna eat me? No, I didn't mean to scare you before, downstairs. I'm not gonna hurt you. I am you. I know. Then you know we have to trust each other. Ezra's dangerous and clever. We can't let him take us by surprise.
Surprise? Why would I want to surprise you?
Ezra walked slowly up the stairs behind me, holding his hands out in mock surrender. There was something I didn't like in his eyes.
Come on, Jacob, you know the score. Even if you team up with this one, you can't trust the others.
Which of us are you talking to?
It doesn't matter. One of you will have to kill the other eventually. I can wait it out.
That's not true.
You can say that, but that doesn't make it so. He's hungry too, Jacob. Think he shares your scruples? How much do you trust yourself, really? And how well do you know yourself? Needs must when the devil drives.
Great, thanks, Confucius. Wait, are you my Ezra or his?
You really still don't get it? We're all your Ezra.
You know something? You've got a point there. I lunged at Ezra and tackled him, sending both of us tumbling down the stairs. As we fell, throwing fists and scratching at each other's faces, we began to pick up speed. We bounced violently down the concrete stairs, knocking back and forth as we rolled down to the next flight and the one after that. Soon we were almost flying, tumbling down the infinite stairwell like rocks in a clothes dryer. Ezra grabbed my hands and tried to pull them off of him, his eyes flashing with mad hatred as I tightened my grip. It was just the two of us now, tumbling past confused copies of ourselves as we shot down into an abyss of concrete and metal railings. We collided with another Ezra and I lost my grip, then slammed into the wall on the side of the landing as both Ezras fell down the stairs. I gasped for a quick breath and crawled for cover, ducking under another pair of Ezras as they fell past me. As I pulled the faceless Ezra's body over mine, the two falling Ezras had become 4, then 8, then 16. The stream of falling bodies grew steadier and more violent as infinite crowds of Ezras slammed against each other in the stairwell walls like a rolling avalanche of mangled flesh. There were more every second, filling every empty inch of space as they cascaded down at what must have been terminal velocity. I pressed myself against the wall, clutching the metal railing beside me for dear life. The faceless Ezra on my lap was getting pulped, flesh torn away and bones shattering as a torrent of twisted limbs rushed past. Then all at once, everything went silent. They were gone. I pushed the wet pile of flesh that had been the dead Ezra off of my legs and got to my feet, looking around the empty stairwell in quiet confusion. Was it over? I looked down at the smashed body of the faceless Ezra, and something nagging at the back of my mind almost made me laugh. Hey, last Ezra standing. Or whatever. Kinda figures it'd be you. Stairwell 1, Ezra 0. You lose, pal. I took a deep breath in and let it out, running a hand through my hair as I tried to make some sense of it. Did I overload some glitch in reality? Crash a simulation? Or maybe I had passed the test, killed the Minotaur at the center of the maze, and crushed Sisyphus under the weight of his own boulder. I had trusted myself in some small way, willingly taken the fall for another version of me. Maybe I had solved the prisoner's dilemma. Sure, that was it. I even let myself believe it as I brushed off my shirt and patted my bruised ribs. Maybe the door would open now. I'd passed the test, earned my reward. But as I reached out, as my hand wrapped around the knob, I couldn't help but wonder, what if I was Sisyphus? Just some unlucky asshole trying to walk upstairs to nowhere. Or an ape worshipping the stars because he doesn't know what they are. My stomach rumbled as I turned the knob. Stairwell One was written and directed by Jonathan Inbody. It was edited by Jeffrey Lavin, with music composed and performed by Samantha Hunt. Jacob, the narrator, was played by Oriana Quinn, and Jonathan Inbody played Ezra. Gray Matter is a Word Search Media production. Any similarities to real people, places, or things is purely coincidental. Be kind. Rewind.